Hey guys, welcome back to my garage. Thanks for tuning into the channel today. So recently you saw us load up this Huskee garden tractor, and that's one we got for free, pulled out of a rental property, literally out of the weeds. Filled up all the tires. Seems like only one isn't holding air. And we put the trickle charger on it last night. So now I'm going to see if it even turns over. Nothing. Like the hood's got to come off, and we'll see if we can't diagnose the electrical system, and then from there see if we can't get this thing running. Well, the battery's charged and she is dead, and we're just taking wild guesses here. So our first step is to take off the hood so we can get to everything. Now we do know one fuel line is missing from the gas tank to the fuel filter. So I know we're going to have to replace that. But for now, we're going to get the front end all broke down, the hood, side panels off so we have easy access to the engine. On top of the engine is a plastic cover. You see me removing that now, and look at this. Scored ourselves a little mouse nest. So put on a glove because you don't know what's in there, if there's mouse poop or whatnot. You don't want that on your hands. The grease and the oil I can deal with, but not the mouse poop and fleas or something. I mean, who knows? So now that we got that picked out, it is safe to start now. Obviously, if you leave that kind of stuff in there when you start it up, it starts on fire. So you can see the engine turning over a little bit there, as if it doesn't have enough power. Not too sure what's going on, but we do know that it's been sitting a while. The fuel system needs to be cleaned. So here I am pulling off the carburetor, taking my time and taking mental notes of where everything goes. So get the carburetor up onto the workbench here, get her taken apart and cleaned up, and then reassembled. I was actually really surprised by how clean this was for sitting out in the weeds. So now that we got the carb all cleaned up, we'll go ahead and reassemble. Get that put back on here. Luckily I didn't lose any bolts or anything. So, as I said, it was turning over slowly. So here we are monkeying with the starter solenoid. And this will end up being my nemesis for the day. It's a 3-prong solenoid. I ended up running to the store and getting a new one. And we got that installed, and still nothing. So I had a 4-prong on the shelf at home. I tried that as well, and still nothing. I've got power going to it from the battery and then power going to it from the ignition. So not too sure if it's what I did wrong on that. We ended up just jumping the mower right off the starter, just using a jump pack. And as you can see, it started. So that was a pretty big win. Pretty excited about that. I know the engine runs, it's not blown. So our main issue is just figuring out that starter solenoid. And as I was going through this, I could tell that somebody else had tried to diagnose this because there were bolts missing, bolts that were not factory. And you could just tell by looking at it, there were a couple spliced wires. So somebody else had an issue with it, tried to diagnose it. They gave up and just sat it in the weeds until they moved out. was a wild ride. Well, she runs, so that's good. Just cruise control is stuck on, so once I hit reverse, she went right back. So that's not good. So we'll charge this battery and try to figure out this cruise control issue. Yeah, it was kind of funny when I had to run in there. Cruise control was stuck on, so I ran into the Craftsman, which ran into my truck. And then somehow I was able to throw it in reverse, and then it just backed up right into those shelves that you see there. Anyway, so we're going to continue testing on this. Got to get that solenoid figured out. Probably have to do some research tonight, and hopefully get back to it in a couple days. Pretty frustrating when you get an electrical issue. That's kind of the holdup. But if you worked on small engines, you know the pain I feel. Anyway, thanks for tuning into the channel today. You folks have a good day, and we'll see you next video.